So the Clubmans are now on their green flag lap. I know that Ian was heading down to hopefully do a podium.
Before the wind blows us all away, let's do the. We got.
Come through the field fairly rapidly if he is. I got a feeling he is coming through and possibly is up to fourth place already, but we'll wait and see. Safely round the first corner they go. I think that was no, that was the 32 car that I saw there, Steve Collier, who dropped back a bit from on that start by the looks of it.
Hi Chris, it's Mike Evans.
Hi Mike.
Hello there. Hi, yeah, I'm up in the Comsey Tower.
Just quickly stopping because we had someone just check up and go a little bit out of shape there. I think that was Graham Wilson in 47, but sorry about that.
Yeah, no problems, no. Cody's not a non-starter.
It was a non, was it?
Yeah, they damaged the push rod on the front suspension, so I was able to get it fixed.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to him coming through the field. That would have been quite a sight.
Yes, it would indeed, yes. Now, obviously, Graham, as you say, Graham made a reasonably good start and that. So, oh yes, so lots of tyre smoke.
Yeah, big lock-up that was from Steve Collier this time, the 32 car, which has left him vulnerable to the number 10 car of Paul Masters. Paul doesn't necessarily need to get involved in that because they're different classes, but racer drivers don't think that way, do they?
Oh no, they're very matched cars anyway, so they'll be there. So there we see Steve Dickens just going through Druid and that, so into second place, I guess.
Yes, Steve is sat there in second. I love it that when I put a post about me coming here, he dropped a reply saying, enjoy seeing this car whip past you. Certainly does, doesn't it?
Oh no, they are very, very quick cars, deceptively so. So now we see James just gone past the start-finish line with a huge lead already to Steve. So
I was talking earlier about the fact that these Clubmans, it's like a vortex. Once you're in racing them, that's it. No one really likes to leave because
Yes.
they're so much fun. I don't know if you know the Woodwards, Clive
Yes.
Woodward, Guy Woodward,
Yeah.
people like that raced for quite a number of years, I understand.
yes, yeah, no, I raced against both Guy and Clive for many years. I mean, I started in Clubmans in '79, and I've tried all the cars and Formula 4s and saloons. I've all had to drive on and everything like that. But there's nothing like getting back into Clubmans cars. So
How does it feel though? Because the nose on them is a long way in front of you, isn't it?
yes, you just get used to them and that to drive. I mean, obviously we've got Pippa Turner-Wood here, and Father Clive is here looking after and helping her. Clive drives Formula Atlantic, Formula 2s, Formula 3s, and he says his Clubmans cars are the nicest handling car out of them all. Yes, and this is it. They are such lovely cars to drive.
As a leader comes past me sounding beautiful, I always sort of think that you look at them and they look like they could fall backwards. Just because of the smaller nose on the front and the big rear, but they've always just seemed to handle wonderfully, and I guess you just cocoon yourself into it.
Yes, yeah, you do fit in them well and everything like that. No, they are quite quirky cars and everything like that, and this is what people love. You either love them or hate them and everything like that, but they are fun to drive, and once you've driven one, then you are suckered into staying with them, and it's a good family atmosphere in the paddock there. Friendly people help each other out if there's any problems and that, so it's a good family.
And bang for your buck, because the speed and handling you get out of these things for the money is just got to be outstanding.
Yes, yeah, no, indeed, they are very cost-effective cars to run and that. So it's and now obviously we've got a Mallet there that's daughter Samantha's driving and everything like that. So we race prepped it Thursday afternoon for a few hours, Dave Booth and myself, and that's it. No, they don't take much looking after between meetings as long as you don't clout the curves or anything like that.
And have you got freedom on the design of the cars?
Yeah, there are regulations there, but you can do your own thing. It's not as though it's a one-make series or anything like that. So there are regulations specify. No,
so it's an engineering masterpiece as well as a racer. I mean, like for example, hi Ian, sorry, I was here to tell you.
Yeah, I was just assuming that James Clark is running away with the race, which is why you're talking about.
Absolutely, it is.
Things to do with Clubmans formula.
The other question, it's like for example, the 22 car at the back there, Begley. The rear on that car looks like a sort of squashed Marcus, a flattened Marcus.
A squashed what?
Marcus. It looks like the flattened Marcus.
Yes.
If you look at the rear of that car, it's a wonderful looking thing. Oh, at Britain's we've got a Challenge 47 and the number 20 car.
Oh, he's got a problem.
A lot of smoke coming out the back.
47, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a couple of times that I've seen him check up, so I wondered whether it was an issue, but I don't think he's aware of it because he just keeps trying to fight with them. I can't see fluid on the circuit, which is the good news.
Yeah, but I would hope that he sensed something there. So here we are with James Clark.
Just struggling for gears.
Pardon?
He's struggling for gears. That
Who? James Clark?
No. The 47 that we were talking about that's got a problem.
Yeah.
So Graham.
Well, that's our new recruit, Graham Wilson. Yeah. Burwolseley.
Yeah, that's in Tatton Hall, where people know.
So he's new to it.
Yes, yeah.
Whose car was that?
It's Peter Richings' car.
That's right. Because he's retired, hasn't he?
So
I shared a B&B with him at Snetterton Way a couple of times. Lovely guy.
Yeah, no.
I couldn't believe when he said he was retiring.
Yeah, no, but he's doing hill climbing, sprint and hill climbing.
Right,
so he's at Shells Wharfs this weekend. So his wife Joy's been here this morning and for the first race taking photographs.
Peter was a very big cheese at Jaguar, wasn't he?
Yes, that's right. And Jaguar Land Rover,
but talking about, I'm afraid it's pulled off.
Yeah, and the stink is left round here is quite incredible, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's definitely burnt through something there.
Oh dear. Well, he's parked at the side of the track, which is possibly going to require the safety car.
Yeah, because it's at a vulnerable place, isn't it? It's on the outside of Druid.
Yeah. Oh yes, you can't leave a car there.
The speed of our leader, the 67 car, is just incredible through this phase here. And he's just able to confidently pick up the throttle so early coming through Knickerborough.
But we've got a couple of marshals who have done a great job. They've come forward, they're pushing, they've got 3 now. They're pushing the car out of harm's way. Well done, guys, because a safety car would sort of ruin the race.
No, it's one thing about the races. They are very respectful of the yellow flags and that, so it's it is good when
they can trust that.
yeah, when
they can trust
the marshals trust the drivers to back off and give the proper respect.
Which the car that we saw just when they first started pushing that was our race leader Clark, and so we know the speed he was going, and yet you notice that he was slowed and he was all the way over to the apex and stayed there through that corner away from the marshals, and that's the way it should be.
No, indeed. No, this is it. No, it's quite normal for. We had drivers briefing this morning, and they said about the qualifying. What were the misdemeanors? None. So it's quite good. Actually, people respect the track limits and everything like that. So it's.
And yet they race, as you've been saying, they race at very considerable speeds. I mean, it's the fastest couple of races of the day.
Yeah.
And they do respect each other. And it's been. I'm old enough to remember the first year of Clubmans racing and what it grew out of, the Lotus Sevens, which because of the caterers of today.
Yes.
Peter Gaydon, the late Peter Gaydon, who won the first championship back at the Radio Caroline.
Right.
Do you remember Radio
yes,
Caroline?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm.
Pirate Radio.
Yes, indeed. That's right.
Chris won't remember Radio Caroline.
I know of it.
You've heard about it, yeah. Anyway, we're going off into
yes, but no, but
the
I mean,
dim and distant.
But this is it. We've got such a good history dating back to 1965. The series has been going, and this is it now. When you tell people how long the series has been going, what it evolved from the Lotus Sevens, it's brilliant.
And there was the famous year or couple of years when Ray Mallock, whose father Arthur started all this, and Jeff Friswell, Frizz the Wiz, were at it hammer and tongs, race meeting after race meeting after race meeting. And they never fell out, they never got cross, they never sort of tried anything dubious, but they just raced flat out. It was fantastic racing. Ray, of course, went on to race in Formula 2 and Formula 5000 and so on, international sports cars.
No, it's quite good because we have one of our former racers, Phil Hart, who's here. He's our driving standards officer. So if there's any niggles in the paddock, anything like that, he'll have a quiet word with the drivers and just nip it in the bud before it escalates onto the track. And obviously, it was something that Chris Hart, who's a long-term Clubmans man, he started off as our driving standards officer and ran the club for many, many years. And it's good because it just makes sure everybody's there, friendly, and enjoys the weekend, which is what it's all about.
And if you wanted to buy one now, there's cars available, aren't there?
Yeah, go on to clubmans.org. There's cars available there for sale section. Or have a word with Mallock's. They've got those cars around. I mean, they get snapped up quite quickly. So there's quite a few cars. Obviously, Phantoms are making new cars.
Yes.
There's actually a new Mallock that's just about to hit the tracks and that. So there's cars being produced. Obviously, Alex Champions.
What mark of Mallock would that be? A 39 or something?
36 or 37, something like that. Yes, yes.
All right, well, we better get back to the race. We've got 5.25 minutes to go, and James Clark is leading it by 23.3 seconds. So we have a note of what he won the earlier race by. It was something like 25
I think it was 40 or 45.
Oh, 40 was it?
And apparently he doesn't like Max Verstappen, so me saying he's doing the Verstappen actually doesn't go down.
All right, he's doing a Jim Clark then.
Yeah, that's better. Well, this is it, with the name James Clark, that's it.
Yes.
You're much more appreciative of that.
Yeah.
So
there's a different spelling, but
yes,
but I think that'd be a better way of doing it.
Yeah. So Chris, I see you're probably opposite you. You've got the dice for CSP2 going on with Samantha in car 87 with Neil Chapman right on the tail. So this is Neil's first time at Alton Park, so he's really in love with the circuit already.
Oh, good. Right. So yes, James Clark won the previous race. You're right, Mike. 42.722 seconds was his winning margin.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to make that this time, is he?
Well, you never know. But I think he would really associate with the late Jim Clark, because his father, I know, was a big fan of Jim Clark. And
is that how he came to be called James?
I guess so. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I should have got Malcolm up here. Malcolm Clark's father. I should have got Malcolm up here at some point.
Yeah, indeed. So we've had 6 laps completed by the first 4. James Clark leading by 25.89 seconds from the Steves. Dickens from Collier.
Yeah, but I think they're quite a distance apart this time, aren't they? Unfortunately.
18.5 seconds, that's right. But Steve Collier not that far ahead of Paul Masters.
That's right. Paul in the A-class car, the CSPA car, the old classic Clubmans car, giving Steve Collier a run for his money there. And then you've got Alan Cook in a newer Mallock Mark 31.
Where have all the classic Clubmans cars gone?
They're still around. People in the garages. One or two have been out with us. One or two are going to be out of brands, and it's still a desire to keep our classic Clubman series going if we can. and that maybe with another organising club or something like that. So, but the most welcome, we had Spencer McCarthy at Donington, and Snetterton had a really good time. So Spencer's a front-running guy in Classic Clubmans with his A-class cars. So, people
and of course, Mark Charteris is extremely quick.
Yeah, Mark was out at Silverzone and will be out, I'm sure, at Brands Hatch, his local circuit.
Right. So 2 3/4 minutes to go. James Clark's completed 7 laps. He's just last time around done the new fastest lap of the race. In the earlier race, his fastest lap was a 1:40.123. He's only 3/10 quicker now, 1:39.885.
One to keep an eye out for is the number 17 car of Alan Cook. He's closing in on this fight between Collier and Masters.
Right, okay, now because Alan obviously had a misdemeanour apparently at Shell in the first race, went wide along the grass there, and that's why he came in and did a rapid entry. Yes, as you said, they've just gone past the start-finish line. So you've got Steve Paul and then Alan Cook on the tail.
I'm sure you've said this, but I wasn't here to hear you say it. Cody Tree not in this race because
he broke a push rod on the front suspension and it damaged it, and they had trouble with the brakes, so they decided enough was enough and have packed up and gone home.
Disappointment.
Yes. So we're at the start-finish line. I'm waiting to see where the CSP2 battle is. I say my daughter Samantha Evans driving 87, hopefully going to appear soon. Oh no, we've got this is Mr. Beardsley, I think is he a lap down or whatever? So Peter Beardsley.
22 is 15th, he is a lap down.
Yes, yeah. So we've got James Clark just come over the start finish line and getting the last lap ball, I think. So
that's right, yes.
How long left to go? 1 minute 20 seconds.
Well, effectively James Clark is on his last lap now.
Yeah, there's Samantha going by with Neil on the tail. So apparently I got told off before for being disparaging about her letting Tom Muirhead pass in the previous race.
Somebody heard you say that?
Yes, several people heard me. I got in trouble for it, yes.
We just had a spin here by the 36 car, and that was, unfortunately, he came down and he had this great fight between Dickens, Collier and, Collier, Masters and Cook come down, and he kept out of the way for the Masters and Cook, Collier and Masters car, but then pulled back in to sort of delay Cook. Cook was straight there, and I think suddenly realised, got on the power a bit too early, heading towards Knickerbrook, and just spun that car around. But thankfully, Alistair Cook was able to avoid him.
Right, well done.
Oh, sorry, Alan Cook even.
Yeah. It would be good if James could get something else to drive, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I mean, move up. And obviously, it's good to have him in.
Oh yeah,
no, you don't want him, but he is so good. He ought to be in something else.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, when he drove, obviously he's drove a Clubman's car 5 years ago.
Yes.
Dave Beecroft's Mad Dog, and his fastest lap that day was a 38.5,
right,
which is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
But he was driving Lotus Cortinas at that time.
That's right, yes.
Now in the HSCC meetings, he was a real star in that series.
He needs to get into things like the Le Mans series and the Le Mans Cup.
Yeah.
If you get a drive, go and speak to Richard Dean at United Autosports. That's what he should do.
You better have a
word. I've told him that.
Here he is. He's taking the flag anyway. Another sterling win there for him.
Yeah, so almost perfect score. Just had that one retirement last time out, but today it's been another typical James Clark performance. 9 laps completed and another win. He's already won the championship, I guess.
Yes. No, indeed. And then we've just seen Tom Muirhead win the CSPB, the B class. Samantha come over this time.
Yeah, where's Barry Webb?
Barry has a timeshare in Madeira, so he doesn't go racing in the first few weeks in August. And this is it. A lot of our normal regulars are actually away on holiday, and obviously with the F1 shutdown, like Ben Mallock, who works for Alpine, he's away on with his family on holiday this week. So this is it. The beginning of the year, beginning of August is not a great time for us to have a race meeting.
Do you have the flexibility to negotiate?
Well, we will be next year. Yeah, we've been spoilt because of the COVID factor, where everybody didn't go on holiday and wanted to go racing instead. It was seen as being safer than going on holiday or whatever.
Okay, well, the Steves finished second and third, separated this time by a lot, 22 seconds actually. Steve Dickens in second place, number 7. In third place, number 32, Steve Collier. In fourth place, number 10, Paul Masters. In fifth place, number 17, Alan Cook. And in sixth place, winning class CSP2, number 20, Mathieu Gauthier Thornton in the Phantom. Seventh, number 58, Tom Muirhead.
So Tom
wins
wins,
he wins his class.
Yeah, so he
and the championship as well. Yeah. In 8th place, number 87, the focus of much attention during the course of this race, and one of our commentators, Samantha Evans, then finishing in 2nd place in her class and 8th place overall. In 9th place, number 5, Neil Chapman, on his first visit to Alton Park, and in 10th place, number 42, Pipitana Wood. Where's her dad today?
Greg Clive's here. Yeah,
but why is he not driving?
He's got problems with his engine in his car.
Oh, okay.
He says hopefully he'll be out at Brands Hatch.
Right. Anyway, Dalton Pippa finishes in 10th place. So there we are. Now you can go off and have your celebration. Mike, thank you very much indeed for providing all that background information.
Yeah, thank you.
On Clubmans.
Thank you for letting me up here, and thanks Chris for being an interesting conversation. So
yeah, okay.
Speak soon. Cheers.
Right,
Bye.
Cheers, Mike.